Let the madness begin. Let's cut those corner cabinet or Lazy Susan components. This is my Lazy Susan bottom shelf piece. This one's going to be a little bit different than most of the other cabinets in the fact I have to notch out the size of the face frame, which my opening is going to be 12 3/4 by 12 3/4, so I have to notch this out. Right now this is oversized just a little bit, so I can trim this edge off. It's a 36-inch square. The outer dimensions of my box is going to be 36 by 36, but what I need to do now is I need to figure out exactly where the face frame is going to go. I have basically measured out on here 12 3/4 from this edge here. Let me trim off a 1/4 inch on each one of these sides and get this down to a closer edge on what I'm going to do, and then I'll redraw my cutout notch here for the face frame for the front. Now my grain pattern, the way I've chosen this, it's kind of done like this on purpose because I'm going to notch out this area here for my corner. So looking at this, if you're looking in at a diagonal, it's going to be like this. This is going to be the right side, that'll be the left side. Over here I have a cabinet that has a 4-drawer stack in it, so you're not actually going to see the bottom grain pattern. But over here on this side is going to be a regular cabinet, and the grain pattern is going to be going the same direction. So I want my grain pattern to go the same way. For me, keeping this grain pattern going this way in line with the cabinet right next to it, that's going to be visible, is great. What I need to do now is I need to just basically measure this distance here, which is 12 11/16, and this one is 12 3/4. I have to allow for the 1/4 inch dado, the additional 1/2 inch, so essentially a 3/4 inch overhang, and then because I want roughly a 1/4 inch overhang on each side, I'll subtract another 1/4 inch off that. Really, I have about an inch overhang from here, and I'll have an inch overhang on this side too. The side will butt up right here. If this was the side, it would butt up like this, and there'd be a slight overhang on the face frame. That would allow for irregularities or anything like that. Have the face frame overlay by 1 inch on each side. So when I measure out this distance here, this 12 11/16, I'll actually measure out 11 11/16 from here, and then instead of 12 3/4 from here to here, it'll be 11 3/4. So I tend to like this flat here because I don't have to worry about it balancing more, this flat rule versus the tape measure when I'm drawing with small stuff. And you can easily feel if it's flush here by just using your finger. Fingers are always better than your eyes because you can feel it. This was 12 11/16 from this distance here to this distance, so I want to subtract an inch off that, so I'm going to get 11 11/16. I'll draw that same line down here at this side. Now this side here, from here to here, was actually 12 3/4, and we'll go 11 3/4 here. We'll do the same here at 11 3/4. So that is essentially where my cutout needs to be. So now I'll just connect the dot so I have a reference line on where I need to actually cut. Those are my reference lines where I need to notch this out. With that, I can go ahead and cut that notch out. On the back side, I want to lay out a diagonal. This diagonal that I'm talking about across the back is going to be your back corner. It goes up like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my distance here from this corner to over here will cover a shelf that runs this way, and my distance from here to here will cover a shelf that will run this way. Done is I've measured in from the corner to 11 inches here, in the corner to 11 inches there. That should allow me to have my shelf pin holes. This outer one's about 9.5 inches out from the very back. So that should allow me to have the same amount of clearance. So because there's gonna be a back running along here, I want that back to nail into this piece. I'm gonna draw this line out here. So I said it's about 15.5 inches long. So I'll need a piece of plywood that's 15.5 inches long. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw that line, because that'll be my cutoff line. And then I'm gonna draw, of course, plywood isn't exactly 3/4 of an inch, but give or take a little. But I'm just gonna, since this is for just close estimation on where its plywood will be in demonstration purposes, I connect these two dots, and that'll represent the thickness of the plywood. If you can imagine a piece, a vertical piece here that's that wide with a 45-degree cut here and a 45-degree cut there, the back panel will just staple into this, and then this will have shelf pin holes up through here and up through here. And the reason for both sides is so when the shelf pins are there and there, it will catch a shelf both on this side and on this side over here, as those shelves are cut also at a 45-degree angle. Here is the bottom panel that's going into the corner cabinet. I'm designing it so it can be a corner cabinet or a Lazy Susan. In the case that we're going to use it for, it's going to be a corner cabinet with shelving. This is the very back panel that goes into the corner. It's coming off of it at a 45. It essentially will be stood up straight and pocket screwed into the floor panel at the right height. These are all the stretchers that are going to go in the very top of the cabinet. All these stretchers are dadoed, so they're just loose fit right now. When I go to put them together, I'll put some glue in the dados and staple them all together, and it'll create a super strong structure on top that will help support the entire cabinet. The sides of the cabinet are just regular cabinet sides. What we have here, right here, these are your two standard sides. Here, piece of plywood that goes from that end to the very edge here. I've dated out. This stretcher and this stretcher will fit down in there. It'll create a nice, tight, strong joint. I've taken back stretchers here and here, mitered them so that the back piece, I've got this like that, and that back piece there, these are dadoed here so that they interlock with that. I've got pocket holes around the perimeter of it so I can screw it into the sides and into the back piece. Underneath here, I've got a 5 1/4 inch support. It runs from that panel over there or to the back here. It helps support this. I'll have a back piece that looks like this. It'll still start to get a lot of weight on it and can sag. Plus, this will add a place for a toe kick to be butted in right here. Essentially, that's what the cabinet will look like, with the back panels taken off and the stretchers actually laying on the cabinet floor as opposed to being up here elevated and already attached. So that's where I am with the corner cabinet. It's coming along pretty good. Back panels are cut. Everything's pretty much cut and ready to go. I just need to start assembling it, which we'll do in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.